Today we're talking about the 1960s French film Les Yeux sans Visage, Eyes Without a Face, by Georges Franju, who has done such other films such as Yeux, Spotlight on a Murder, Les Sangs des Bêtes, Blood of Beasts. I can't say I've really heard of any of these movies, but I did a bit of research after. He seems pretty, notable French director. And I think this is definitely his most notable film. And yeah, so it's just classic French horror movie. And it's one of the horror movies where it's like, it gets the title horror movie for the content of the film, even though the filmmaking itself isn't necessarily jump scary or like gonna make your skin crawl that much with like what's actually happening visually. And I think I think about, and I've talked a bit about horror movies and how they've kind of evolved in my perspective throughout the years, because when I was in like elementary school and even a bit of high school, I really said that I was opposed to horror movies. I didn't like them because I feel like the main ones that were getting exposure or maybe like seep their way into culture and just like ones that, like little children would talk about in elementary school, they're always like the really scary ones that are purposely trying to scare you as their main purpose rather than provide a horror concept, and the ones that are just like jump scary. And yeah, that kind of just turned me off of horror movies. But I've seen so many recently, and I've had trouble with like the classification. Like, The Thing, is that a horror movie? There's a few other ones that I'm sure I could name off if I thought a little harder about it. But this one falls in that category where it really is not jump scary at all. It's kind of just like the suspenseful, the content of what's happening, the circumstances are what's scary, even though the filmmaking is very like, it's very laid out for you to see. It's not really even much of a mystery because the audience really does know the whole time what's going on. It's kind of just an analyzation of one, the daughter character who you see in the poster here, of what's going on with her, as well as mainly her father and his wife, who is also like an accomplice with everything that's going on. And so I think that before I go into spoilers, I think that I would highly recommend this movie. This movie is really good, and it's not like crazy long. How long is it? 84 minutes. I think it's a perfect length, honestly. It's to the point. It's a contained story, like I said. That's just how they made them back in the day. And it's just a great, thoughtful concept. It's very Island of Dr. Moreau is one piece of media that I can relate to that I really do like. I loved Island of Dr. Moreau. I wouldn't call it sci-fi. I would also relate it to a movie like Get Out, not with like the filmmaking practices, just about the concept and the themes that it's playing with. I think it's shot great. I think the costumes and just the look of everything that's going on is great. Yeah, the visuals of the costumes are really cool. And it's like creepy. It's not really scary because you know what's going on, but it's just like, it's a cool visual. And, she's all depressed. She's got a disfigured face. They're trying to fix it in the most, vicious manner possible by kidnapping innocent women. The doctor, so Dr. Genessier, he's the father, and he's the one who got into the accident. And I feel like throughout the film, they often say that, he says so many times, trust me. He says to his assistant, don't you trust me? He says to his daughter, don't you trust me in this? I'm going to figure it out. And this guy, he's kind of just like this doctor who's well-renowned for like regular doctory stuff too. He's not just like a creepy doctor. He's like a regular doctor in the real world too. And that's kind of how he like finds out who he wants to kidnap. And he's very much an interesting character because he has this pride to him. He's like this main doctor, this surgeon, well-respected, and he believes that he can do like this surgeries to save his daughter's face, but like he messes up every time. There's one time where we think that he succeeds, and then he messes it up, and he's all down on himself. He's like, darn, I thought it was gonna work. Sorry, daughter. And then the daughter, going crazy, who has the disfigured face, she says to her, I think it's her mother. I think the assistant is her mother, but she also had a face transplant, a successful one already, that just left a scar on her neck, and she hides it with a pearl necklace. I think it's his wife, because they said his wife went missing previously, but I imagine she just got a new face as well. Maybe that's the spoilery part they didn't want to put in the log line here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the daughter says to her mother, I just want to die. Like, my face is ruined. I just want... There's like one shot mainly of like her face, her actual face without a mask on, without other people's skin on her face. It's a cool visual. But yeah, she's just a lab rat. She's just a guinea pig this whole time. And yeah, her character was great. And then the assistant wife, I think it's his wife. She was also cool because as the accomplice, not only a laboratory assistant, she's the one who goes out and goes up to innocent women by themselves and be like, hey, you need a ride somewhere? Hey, you need to find a new place to stay? Oh, I know this great place. I can figure it out for you, you know. And then she just drives them back to the mansion and just, you know, the doctor makes them go to sleep and takes off their face. Those surgery scenes were really cool. They were just cool visually. It's like, it was pretty simple, but it's like they're just like drawing an outline of the face and the eyes, and then he just takes a scalpel, goes at it. You could tell when he's using the scalpel, it's kind of just like fake blood coming out of the scalpel as he's like drawing over the lines. But still, the scene was pretty good. It was just like really interesting to see. Then they had like these clampy things going onto the skin of the face to get under the skin and everything. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. But I mean, it's just a classic horror movie concept. It was pretty fun. Again, not too scary, not too long, but it was just like, yeah, suspenseful. Are they going to get caught? Just all three of the main characters were very, very interesting and in depth. And I think the ending was really good. It was satisfying. I won't spoil that at least. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. It's a classic for a reason.